We get 2 weeks of decent WWE programming, and all of a sudden, AEW is falling apart. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Come Up with Bob. Joined as always by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
Rocking the Animal benefit t-shirt. My boy, Animal.
Yeah, because his brother is done.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah. We are...
Johnny Cage.
Yep. You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking about all the news in wrestling. I gotta change.
Genetic jackhammer.
Gotta change everything again because of this.
Yes, you do. That's what bad guys do.
That's what bad guys do.
Hello, genetic jackhammer. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you guys doing?
Let's get started, brother.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. Anyway, thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Before we get let's go ahead and look in the chat here. Leg Kick was first. He said, "Hail the Wrestling Council." Hail Leg Kick. Appreciate you and your brother. Malicito said, "Sup, people? What's up?" Malicito.
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
I got a
Villain.
preemptively for the Guardian of Chaos. And then Hicks Villain as well said, "Sup? What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys being here." Guardian of Chaos says, "Hey, yo, I'll be bouncing in and out. Awesome, man. Appreciate you coming by, Big Daddy." Yeah, that's what she said. Hicks Villain said, "Sup, Malicito, Guardian of the Chaos, leg kick. Now Johnny Ace will be slinging his brother's merch on the con circuit." There you go, man. Appreciate y'all being here. Courtney, what's up? I made it. What's up, Courtney? Appreciate you being here. I know you had a little bit of a rough week. Hope you're feeling better. But yeah, this was a weird week, man.
That was a long stream you had the other day, Courtney, with those guys. Ooh, I fell asleep.
I put it on, dude. I could not dude. I was so out of it. I was listening to it at work, and I was so out of it. I couldn't tell you what was going on, man. But always cool, always interesting. Go support Big Daddy, support Courtney, and all their things. Oh man,
And support us.
Yeah, and support us. Yeah, we're up to 119 subscribers. Appreciate that, guys. Everybody that lurks, everybody that watches later. We actually had over 100 and almost 120 views on the last video. So, man,
Did you make the custom link yet?
the custom, yeah. Oh, the custom URL. It hasn't come in yet for some reason. I might have to contact them and find out what's going on. I think they changed it a little bit. I think you have to have like a certain amount of content, but I think we should be well past that. So we should be getting it anytime soon. If not, I'll go over there and bitch up a storm. And speaking of bitching up a storm, it's time for our favorite segment. It was something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. This week, it's your boy Hollywood starting us off. All right, brother, what do you got?
All right. The good. Tell you what, man. Ever since Trips has taken over, I've been impressed with the direction that WWE is going.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's like we were talking about, man. It's the little things. It's the connective tissue. That's what I think has changed the most.
I think the morale's up there. I think the wrestlers, everybody feels more freedom to be able to express themselves. And not walking on pins and needles like they were before.
Yeah.
It was great on SmackDown with Killer Cross, Karrion Kross, whatever you want to call him, coming out at the end, beating down McIntyre, and maybe setting up a triple threat for
Clash
of the Castle.
Yep. Supposedly 70,000 tickets sold for Clash to Castle.
Yeah, I mean, how often do they have events over there? I mean,
well, yeah. So no, that was definitely the highlight of the week, man.
And Dexter Lumis last night.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about that a little bit more because I'm kind of split on that, man.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch Raw last night. Part of it because thunderstorms rolling through Cleveland, and it's
Yep.
You had Raw in Cleveland last night, and but the thunderstorms just messed with it, and I couldn't watch most of Raw last night. So
yep.
The bad AEW right now, they're
kind of struggling.
They're kind of struggling
at the worst time possible.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll get more into that because that's our subject today. Is Tony
starting to crack?
Yeah, he's starting to feel the pressure. I mean, that's our main topic. So we'll talk more about that. But AEW is starting to WWE going this way. AEW maybe it's just too big, which I think it is for one man.
Mm.
And but we'll get more into that.
Oh my God, Malicito with his Miz stuff. Missing the main event, bad enough. Ugly Jimmy Hayter breaking her nose. Yeah, dude, Jimmy Hayter is a baller, man. She got her nose. Dude, she got her nose busted in the middle of that match. Shook it off and finished. Yeah. And there was another botch later on, I think, where was it? I think that Thunder Rosa landed on her, jumped on her and landed on her head.
Yeah,
like she went to the ringer and she fought it off like a champ. So,
and I don't want to say she was sandbagging one of those backbreakers, but she kind of was sandbagging one of those backbreakers. A
little bit, yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But
and I could say a couple different uglies from the women's gauntlet on SmackDown to the way Liv Morgan is being treated. But my ugly is, good God. WWE, I said, was going this way, but last night, somebody could have had a seizure with how many freaking camera angles they were flipping around.
Yeah, they gotta get a handle on that.
With the 6 women last night, with Bailey, Dakota Sky, and Io Shirai, with Bianca and Liv and not Liv, Bianca, Alexis, and Asuka. Each one of them with a different one, and just camera going do. I mean, I'm watching now. I'm like,
the weird thing too, man, is it seems like they're mostly doing that with the women's matches. If you notice that, there's a little bit of it. There's a little bit of it with the men's matches, but the women's matches, those camera shots are just, those camera cuts are just bad.
It was just.
It's almost like a strobe. Yeah, it's almost like a strobe light. It was bad.
Good. Oh my God! And then from the back, they're shooting them by the crowd, and then here, and then here, and then here, and.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of, and honestly, I think that this is what it is. I think it's the influence of Hollywood. Is that in all the Hollywood action movies now they do that shaky cam crap with and they do like those quick cuts and stuff like that in those fights too. Instead of letting the fight, be just watching it play out, it's these quick cuts so they can like dice things together. And I think that that's what this is. I think that's them playing around it, but the weird thing is that it's almost always the women's matches, though.
That as excited as I was to see the E going and improving, that right there just killed it for me. And I'm like, if that's the side of things that come with WWE with some of these, I don't want to see it.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, it was like it was weird. Guardian Kiss is back.
He's back.
Does anyone know where Bailey get her pants? I want a pair of their pants. Those are just like like modified cargo pants or something, right?
I
Like a
think
bunch
so.
of little pockets or something. You just we're gonna start calling her pockets.
Yeah.
She's gonna steal the title
No.
from
We don't need another one of those.
Hey, no problem, Big Daddy. Do what you need to
Yeah.
do, man.
Yep, do what you gotta do, brother. But all right, that's your good, bad, and ugly.
Yep.
All right, I'll go next. My good professional wrestling is back in WWE. A specific statement made by Hunter is they are going back to professional wrestling. The was it the sports entertainment? It's done. Now, whether or not that's true, we'll see. Like I said, WWE has a style. The changes there have definitely been some changes, like we felt that, mostly in like we said, the connective tissue finishes are different now. Like we're getting more regular finishes. That was awesome. Storylines and them looking at stuff that what is working and isn't working, and basically saying, okay, this isn't working, we're killing it. A good example of that would be Kevin Owens on Raw this week. The comedy stuff is over. He came back. He said the old Kevin Owens is back. So I'm 100,000.
So Jericho's gonna need a new gimmick then.
Hicksville said favorite part of Raw was thinking, oh no, not Kevin Owens versus Elias brother again, and then Owens just murdered him. Yeah, dude, that was awesome. They're like, look, this friggin' Ezekiel crap is not working, and like I said, Kevin Owens is one of those guys you give him chicken shit, he'll give you chicken salad, but he murdered Elias. He murdered the crap out of that dude.
Hopefully they'll kill that whole Elias.
Yep.
Ezekiel, whatever his other brother's name is.
Elrod.
Yeah.
Elrod.
Elrod, yeah. But professional wrestling is back in WWE. I couldn't be happier. And yeah, like we said, this is what we wanted them to do. We wanted them to course correct the ship. We love and all the criticism that we've spoken on this channel specifically about WWE. It all came from the fact that we love WWE and we wanted to be the best that they could possibly be. And with the talent that they've got, there's no reason why they couldn't be. They're still the slickest production in the entire business.
Yep.
And I couldn't be dude. I'm freaking ecstatic about this, man. This is the most excited I've been about WWE in probably the last 7 or 8 years. At least. So kudos to Triple H. Keep up the good work. And hopefully we'll see more of this. And we'll talk, as we talk about the shows, we'll talk about the things that they've changed. So the bad for me, Jay White is out with heat stroke symptoms.
Oh no.
He will be down. Well, he's going to be down for the next 2 events in New Japan. So hopefully he'll recover. He'll be okay, and he can finish out the G1. All concerns and prayers and all that going to Jay White. Hoping he has a speedy recovery. The G1 has been really entertaining, man. I don't think it's as good as last year's, but it's still been really, really good, man. Shingo versus Will Ospreay was a freaking classic. God
but
dang,
what am
man.
I gonna do without the 2J show? I need that.
Oh, dude! Like I said, I think he'll be out.
I'm just kidding. I know.
He'll be out for a little bit. They'll pump him full of fluids, man. He'll, he's a consummate professional. So
he'll suck.
Everyone on the backstage interviews were complaining about the heat. Why are we doing 70? It's so hot.
Yeah, it's they're going through. They're going through a heat wave where they're just like we are, and it was so. It's not just him, but unfortunately, he was the first to succumb. So. AEW needs competition. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Jay White versus Ospreay is going to be fire. Oh yeah, there's so many great matches that coming out of that. Freaking, we'll talk about him.
Jonah beat Okada. Did not see that.
Jonah beat Okada, man. That was awesome. Bob and his other company bashing such a WWE shill. Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, though, man. Have you seen the WWE shills are so happy that people are talking positive about WWE now. They're literally signaling AEW's death. Like, this is it. This is the end. They're turning into WCW, and I'm like, they had a bad month, man. Calm down. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
The ugly. Jeez, man. This story's never gonna go away. It's never gonna go away. 19.6 million and climbing.
Woo.
19.6 million has been discovered of hush money that was paid by Vince and climbing, man. It's just this is just gonna get, it's like I said, this is the story that never ends. And unfortunately, it's a lot of dirty laundry gets aired, but yeah, that's pretty nasty. But that's my GBU. Johnny, what you got?
Well,
No, it's a genetic jackhammer. Come on.
Yeah, you're gonna have to say that. It's like Seth freaking Rollins, man. You gotta say the whole thing.
Oh my God.
Well, my good, I'm gonna start with, and I'm gonna be mean here. Johnny Ace is out, and I'm shooting fireworks. Best of luck in your future endeavors. Maybe not. I really don't care. Just don't come back. And my bad. I was gonna just say that, but I'm gonna single out Wardlow's booking. I'm so disappointed. Ever since he won the title.
You know what? His initial booking was not great. His last couple of weeks have been okay. I still think he needs that big feud, man. Like, he needs to be fighting friggin' Brian Cage or another big Hoss, man. Powerhouse Hobbs.
We need not right now. We need to make him look like the monster he was before he got the title.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, he needs to hold on to that title until after Christmas.
Like we had that match with Cassidy that was worse than I thought it was going to be, and I already thought it was going to be awful, but they managed to make it worse. And
you mean the Battle of the Belts?
No, the one with the first match after he won the belt with Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
Oh, with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
well,
I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't expect to be awful. Like chainsaws, and before the match started, guys said, and guess what? We're gonna cheat. I don't need that with Wardlow. No.
You've got a guy with a very serious gimmick in there with a guy who's basically with a faction that's basically joke wrestlers. Even though Trent is an amazing wrestler, dude. Yeah. But they're mostly there to be goofy.
Yeah, that's why I was complaining before they had the match. He should have been somebody else, and he should have just powerbombed him to the hell, and that would be the end of it. But no. And my ugly, since we already talked about my girl breaking her nose, it's gonna be Thunder Rosa going over the rail to celebrate and stepping on a kid, dropping her down. I don't know if you guys caught that. It was a little girl. Yeah, that was sad.
Well, it happens.
Okay, then moving on. What do you guys got?
What's your ugly?
My ugly, yeah, it's gonna have to be Jamie breaking her nose. I can't. I love that woman so much.
Yeah, they got a lot of people there. A lot of people got a lot of opinions about things that they want to change in WWE. Get rid of the Seth freaking Rollins gimmick. It sucks.
No, I like what he does.
The Dirt God is the worst leg kick. His architect gimmick was great. Yeah, I liked his architect gimmick.
It's better than freaking Monday Night Messiah.
Oh my! Anything's better than Monday Night Messiah. Anything, literally, damn near anything. But all right, let's not bury the lead. Let's get into this. We'll talk about this, and then I want to save enough time where we can talk about the shows. Let me share this screen real quick because this comes from okay. So the articles that I'm going to read, they come from two different promotions, Sportskeeda and what was the other one? Ringside News. So take them with a grain of salt, guys. But let's see here, share the screen. And there we go. We'll share this. Potential details on Tony Khan being unprofessional backstage AEW, called worse than Vince McMahon. That's a bold statement right there. That is a bold statement. We'll get into that, but real quick, it's been reported that Tony Khan has been unprofessional backstage in AEW, with the comparisons even being made to recently retired, not fired, retired W chairman Vince McMahon. Ringside News states that Tony Khan's behavior backstage has become an issue, having apparently also been told that he oversteps the mark with how he talks to commentary via headsets on a regular basis. Now that I have heard that he gets really loud. He's a very emotional. That's one of the things that we said early on was that he needs to get control of his emotions. That's number one. You're the CEO of a major corporation like this, multiple wrestling companies. You need to be in control of your emotions at all times. So that's something we knew from the start that he's had some issues with. So RSN alleges that a source with direct knowledge has said that in the past month. So this right here, like remember what we said, with all these injuries that happened and whatnot, and competition wrapping up, this is the telling time for Tony. This is his time to show us what he's made of, and this is the time to see and watch to see if he can step up or not.
Yep.
When you're dealing with difficulty, that's when you're you got to be at your best. So and then it says that this is all like in the past month. Tony Khan has become impossible for anyone to deal with. It's also said that the source made comparisons to Vince McMahon, even going so far as to say Tony Khan was comparatively worse. The report goes on to claim that those who have previously worked with Vince and W have said Khan is much worse than Vince ever was. The source is said to describe unprofessionalism as compared to other W higher ups, Kevin Dunn, who notoriously yelled at and mocked people over the headsets. That right there, I'm like, if that's true, that means that he's having like a meltdown. Now, here's the thing. I want to know who this person is that's making these allegations, and that's all this is allegations, because from other people we've heard the complete opposite, that Tony's super easy to work with, that he's receptive to all details and whatnot. The only complaint that has really stuck is the fact that he gets really, really emotional. The report concludes saying that Tony Khan, who also allegedly going off during the Death for Designer event on the 23rd of July. Now that I know is somewhat true. They said he was kind of because there was the big issue with him and Jonathan Gresham. So we know there was some of that. And then Jack Evans made a comment. He said, "I really liked it. It was a great experience. Tony was a great boss. The only complaint I could ever make about Tony for sure is that he's the king of last minute mind changes." Okay. So we have confirmation of some of this. Now, to be fair, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. What did we say was one of Vince's biggest vices? One of the biggest problems they had with Vince? Changing shit at last minute.
Oh, yeah. Rewriting Raw and SmackDown on the fly.
Yep. If this is true, then that means Tony has fallen in with the same trap and the same issue. And that is not a good thing.
No.
So with this, this being kind of a little bit of a confirmation with some of the issues going on in the background, does that mean Tony is starting to, kind of fray under the stress? What do you think?
I think so. He wouldn't have promoted all those people to the thing that he was doing if he wasn't under pressure. Like he promoted QT.
Yeah, because he brought in a bunch of new people to kind of work as creative for him.
Yeah, I think if he was up to him, he wouldn't have done that, but he just can't anymore.
Yep. Gunther versus Shinsuke would be a great match. Yep.
You've got these guys in there like Regal. Use them.
Yep.
You've got AEW. You've got Ring of Honor. You're doing all this stuff. I'm sure he's still involved with his dad with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're starting up.
Yep.
New season. So
now this is a question. Is Tony being corrupted by the power that he has? Because remember, this is one of the big reasons why Cody left. Is that Tony didn't want to relinquish some of his creative control. Riri.
I'll
He's
I'll
turning
hold
it.
judgment on that. I think
Well-
that's a little early to say.
What were you saying, Frank?
He's turning into what's his name?
Vince?
Gollum. No, he's turning into Gollum.
Yeah. It's interesting that they're comparing him to Kevin Dunn. That to me is like that's bad. So then there's this other story, and we'll just gloss over this one. Tony Khan had to beg high-ranking backstage name not to quit over his unprofessional behavior. AEW appeared like a great place to work when they opened their doors, but it seems that cracks are starting to form. Tony Khan is leading AEW in his own direction, and his tactics were seen as less than professional along the way. So this is the thing that they began, like, this seems to be something that has been slowly building. And now that he's kind of under pressure because he lost three of his top stars, is he failing and going through the crucible here? A source with direct knowledge in the situation told us someone in high-ranking position backstage told Khan that he quit the company following a night of explosive outbursts. Then Khan took action in a fast manner. Tony Khan chased him down and promised to change his behavior. After that, Tony promoted Sanjay Dutt, Pat Buck, and the others to help with the workload. So this multiple, like you get one person coming out and saying this, I'm very suspect about that. You get multiple sources coming out claiming pretty much the same thing, and then you get multiple people going on record talking about specific incidents, and then you see Tony doing what he did, where he promoted like 5 people into different various roles in the background. That to me lends a little more credibility to the fact that he's starting to feel the pressure.
Like the people that are injured and MJF and Cody and all, like, I feel like Tony was just giving them the okay to what they were gonna do. Like, they were booking their stuff themselves. A lot of it, they were coming up with the ideas, and so them leaving now just gave him more stuff to do that he just can't deal with. Not right now.
We said from the start. I said he said it's hard enough to run AEW. He's gonna need to promote someone to be a general manager over in Ring of Honor and let them run the day-to-day. He can still have they pass the card through him and everything and the creative through him, and he can make tweaks here and there and have the final say, but he can't be micromanaging everything the way he's doing. I don't think Vince could do that.
So he needs a booker.
He needs a booker. He needs a booker. He needs a general manager for both shows. He needs a head of creative. And then when they get they get everything put together, they show it to him. And if he wants to make any tweaks here and there, he could do it then. That's what he needs to do. He needs to take a step back. So here quicker. Montecito said, yeah, but Cody needed to be pulled back too. A lot of his ideas were not getting over. Yeah, I think what happened is with Cody was overcompensation. Like you over course correct. And I think that's what happened with Cody. Like, instead of sitting down with him saying, hey, you need to pull back on some of these ideas and stuff like that, Tony just took the power away from him almost completely, which I think that was an overstep. I don't think that Tony should have done that. Tony needs a couple assistants and someone to rein him in.
Yep.
It won't be healthy for Tony in the long run. That's the thing I'm looking at. Like, in the short term, he might be okay, but as things goes on, it's like when we talk about how comic book writers are writing, like, instead of writing 1 or 2 books like they used to in the past, now they're writing like 5 or 6. And some what was it? Brian Michael Bendis at one time was writing like 10 at the same time. When you're splitting your focus that much, none of the things that you're doing are going to be as good as they should be. You know what I mean? Because you're not putting enough focus into each specific thing. So he needs to build a brain trust, man. He needs to bring on a head of creative to put things together for him, and and at least run some of the day-to-day stuff, and then he can, he can interject himself creatively as it goes along. But as it looks right now, it seems like he's having some issues. And like I said, there have been great matches. There have been some great matches in Dynamite. Dynamite has not been terrible. Okay, Rampage has not been terrible, but they have had some. They've had a lot more ups and downs in the last month or so than they have in the past. So,
and he's gonna have to figure out something, because if WWE keeps climbing,
yeah,
these guys, when their contracts come up,
they're going to jump.
And
some of them are already talking about jumping. Miro has made it. He hasn't come right out and said it, and this also may be some character work from him.
Yeah, and he's also signed for the next 5 years, so it's not like
he's here for a while,
anytime soon.
Which is what makes me think that the stuff that he's been saying is more character stuff, because it kind of fits into the character he's playing right now. But to be fair, I don't think he's been utilized as well as he could have been. Now he had a hamstring injury,
right?
So that kept him out for a lot. But here's the thing: okay. I'm gonna probably make some people upset here, but let me clarify this. But let me couch what I'm about to say before I go into it. I love Jon Moxley. This is the best. Jon Moxley is at his absolute best right now. I love Chris Jericho. I've been a big Christopher Jericho fan forever. I feel like Tony had a golden opportunity here to once again make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And when he lost all those top guys, and he knew he was going to have a 3, maybe 4 month period where he didn't have them. This is the time in my mind that you experiment with the people that you've got in the waiting in the wings. Like, this is a time when he could have seen what guys like Malachi Black, Miro, Keith Lee, Brian Cage,
Hobbs.
Hobbs. Well, I'm talking putting it into the world title scene.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then in your mid card, guys like Hobbs, Ethan Page, which it looks like they're finally starting to do some movement on Ethan Page, which is good.
My Markhead just fantasy booking like the other day was thinking about what he put that on Christian. Just let him run his mouth until
Christian,
he's back.
dude, Christian in the last month, Christian has been at his absolute best.
I'd rather him have his match with Moxley and just take the belt, and Jericho be anywhere near the title.
Here's the thing. Moxley, as much as I love the dude, did not need to be the world champion in this interim. Okay. Nope. Jericho does not need to be in the world title scene right now. Okay. Doesn't need to be. This is a time that I would like to have seen what would happen if we had gotten Aleister Black as the interim world champion. I would like to have seen what would happen if we had gotten Keith Lee as the interim world champion. Miro, something like that. This is a time when you experiment with the guys that you have. That's true. He's healed up. He is healed up now, though. He had an issue with his back. I know.
You could have put MJF as interim.
Well,
yeah. Again, this is the time. Like, this was the time. Like, you've got to do something to really shake things up, because like 2/3 of your top guys are down. Instead of going back to the well with Moxley, and Moxley actually went on record saying he wants to lose the interim title. He wants to drop it to somebody. They do not need to drop that belt on Jericho.
No.
What I would have done is I would have had the House of Black feud with the Blackpool Combat Club. And this is the time when you try to elevate somebody and you see what they can do. You see how you let them be creative. You see what you can do. Because here, what's better than having 4 or 5 top guys, having 7 or 8. Okay. That's and this was a time that they could have worked with that. And not only that, but even if after the interim is over, we know they're putting that belt back on CM Punk.
Right.
It's going back on Punk.
Yeah, and you've got going back to your point about elevating some guy. the way FTR was treated at the end in WWE. And look what they've done since.
Oh my God. They're the biggest tag team in the world.
You have a guy that was wasted with the angles they had with him when he was Malachi Black, when he was over there in WWE, and just they didn't know. You didn't know what to do with him with Malachi Black. Put the interim title on him.
Yeah, and see what he can do with it. That's what I'm saying, man. They've got all this untapped talent, and instead of doing that, Tony pulled the panic ripcord, and he went back to tried and true.
He pulled a WWE Goldberg.
Yep. Yes, this is Tony's version of calling up Brock Lesnar. Now, granted, Moxley works a hell of a lot better than Brock,
right?
And so that's not trying to compare the two of them. I'm comparing the mentality that Tony had when this happened. So, and I honestly think that if he had a creative brain trust around him, that they might have gone a different direction. But I look at the situation right now, and I look at it as a little bit of a missed opportunity. Andre, dude, put the friggin' belt on Andrade.
Yep.
You know, ever since they brought Rush in and they announced the newest chapter of Los Ingobernables, dude, those guys have been super popular. You could have done something. That's what I'm saying. It just, this whole thing just feels like a missed opportunity to me. And this is not me shitting on AEW, because like I've said in the past, Tony hits more than he misses, far more than he misses. The problem is when he does miss, he misses big. Did your cat just knock something over?
No, just banging on stuff.
But Courtney says you can't do anything with MJF because the network took him off TV. I still think that's a work. Now, granted, he may not want to have wanted to pull the trigger on MJF just yet, because obviously this is long-term storytelling. But
okay, so the reports I saw said that he was gonna go straight with an feud with Punk. That's why Punk came out limping when he gave the promo.
What did you say?
MJF dropped the pipe bomb, then CM Punk came out limping because he was already with his foot broken. The reports I saw is that they were gonna go into a feud, and MJF was gonna take the belt at All Out.
See, this is where I disagree with that, because I understand what you're saying. You got to do that because the name of the game is selling tickets and TV time. You got to go with the name to sell, and you can't risk on an unproven talent this time. I get that, but at the same time, you're already going to be in the hole because, like I said, three of your 5 top guys are out.
Yep.
So at this particular time, and you know they're going to come back, and at this particular time, I think this is when you bite the bullet a little bit and you go, okay, let's see what we got. Because you spent money on these guys. And let's be honest, the House of Black, as cool as it is, it's kind of spinning its wheels a little bit. You know, they've been in a feud with Death Triangle for like a year on and off.
I don't know.
And then there was that, and Malachi, he had that feud with Cody that kind of got cut short and died because Cody left. And but we haven't seen him really do anything major league like that since. I want to see Malachi Black versus Jon Moxley.
You forgot their biggest feud, man. Fuego del Sol.
Oh my god, damn it, dude! I like Fuego. He seems like a really cool dude. I don't want to see a feud with him and Malachi Black, dude. I don't give a shit. I really don't.
You got to go with the Balacito says you got to go with the name that sells. Okay. Well, you've had opportunities with talent. Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Storm. You bring in these people. I'll just go two, for example, that are over like Rover when they come in, and just like
the way you book them, they cool off.
Yeah.
Tony did to Ruby what Tony did to Lethal, like rush them into a title match and then they lose and go back in the card.
Here's the thing. This is another thing that somebody brought up. It seems like this is Tony's go-to when he needs a pump, when he needs a big push. He signs a new person to come in and have a big surprise splash. You know what I mean? And then the heat on them, with the exception of a couple of people, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole. I think Toni Storm's actually doing pretty good now. I think she's doing pretty good, but the women's division needs a lot of work anyway.
It does.
And hopefully the people they brought in will help with that. But outside of a few people, most of them have immediately kind of fallen down the mid card or to dark level. So it's a concerning thing with me that is Tony a one-trick pony?
Yeah, I mean, what are they doing with Athena right now?
I'm worried about her, man. Like, I'm glad that she's made the AEW champion. She'll wipe the floor with every woman that they have. You mean the AEW women's champion? Okay, she's ready for Mac. Oh, she's ready for Mox. Oh my god!
No.
You
know what? You know what's sad? She's the best champion they have right now.
Yeah, Hicks Villain wants you to pull a Tessa Blanchard with Jade.
Oh my god, dude! I understood why Impact did that with Tessa Blanchard, because they were in serious trouble, and she was the most over person there. I was like, okay, I get it, but I mean, come on. William Railsport Rally. Hey, thanks for hanging in, man. He said Athena's best finisher in wrestling, the Eclipse. She does have a great finisher. I really like, next to Joe's Muscle Buster. I think that's the best. That's the most brutal finisher there is in women's. What else? Getting back on track. Let's see. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. You can't bitch that they're not using their homegrown talent, then complain they're not pushing the outside talent at the same time. No, I don't. I'm not bitching about them. I think they've pushed their homegrown talent really well. You know, Darby, Sammy. I mean, Sammy got derailed a little bit because of a little bit of bad booking there. But outside of that, you know, Jungle Boy fell off for a couple of weeks because he got injured. But he the injury bug bit him. But
yeah,
as far as their homegrown talent is concerned, man, I think they've done a really good job of pushing those guys. They're all. I really think that their future, and MJF is freaking, whether you love him or you hate him, he's the best heel in the business. You're talking out both sides of your mouth.
Right now, they just have too much talent now to see. Though they have too much talent and not enough TV time for the talent they have. I
don't have a problem. Look, like I said, I like Moxley. I think Moxley's awesome. I just think that in this particular instance, this little window that they had where they were injured, if it was me, that's when I would take the time to see what I could do with these other guys. While those other guys are on the shelf, take the time and see what you can do with them, because you never know. You might end up with another top level guy, or maybe two top level guys. You know what I mean? You never know. So, and again, this is all armchair booking, guys. Like, we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. We don't know, what kind of company politics are going on. And there are other things behind the scenes that might be like that. There might be a reason because that he did this. But my concern is more than anything is Tony starting to crack under the pressure? And I think he is a little bit. Now, do I think that this is like, I don't want this to sound like all doom and gloom either. Like AEW is dying, like some of these people that are saying online, which is just freaking stupid, because Dynamite's ratings have been fine. Yep. Rampage has been in trouble, but then Rampage has been in trouble since the day it came out because it's in such a terrible time slot. But as far as their match quality and things like that, I mean, I think AEW is fine. I just think that they're going through a rough patch right now. The question is, what does Tony need to do to kind of evolve and right the ship a little bit? So
they need to do something with Ring of Honor.
Someone said that
Something.
they were getting blocked by like they were trying to put Ring of Honor together and they were getting blocked.
Because you're getting ready to bring in a trios title, which
Yep.
is another title that you're going to have to try to get screen time for. You only have 3 hours, of TV time a week.
Yeah. Now this is a question. If and when they do get a Ring of Honor show, it'll probably be a 2-hour show. Okay. Do you stop having as much Ring of Honor crossover?
I would treat it as a
completely different brand.
Treat it as a completely different brand, and do occasional crossover, not something that's all the time.
Yeah. Like I would have like they pick a pay-per-view and have that be like a crossover pay-per-view, and then leading up to that pay-per-view, you have some crossover between the two shows. Like that's how I would do it.
No offense to Major League Baseball, I enjoyed it a lot better when the National League didn't play the American League all the time. The only time they played each other was All-Star Game and in the World Series. That was it. Not counting spring training, but All-Star Game, World Series. It's the only time you saw the American League play the National League. Now it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it loses its luster when they do that.
Now right here, Maldacito makes a really good point here with the Warner Discovery merger. This might be why Tony, this is now, I didn't think about this. This is actually a good point. I didn't think about this. This is actually what this was going on last month as well, was the big Warner Discovery merger. And if you know anything about the guy that's running Warner Discovery right now, that dude is a friggin' headhunter, man.
Bye-bye, Batgirl.
Yep. Oh, dude, more than that. All kind.
Bye-bye, Supergirl.
If it ain't making money, he's killing it. Like no questions asked, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's gone. So that might have been something that weighed into it. He's like, I can't, like, maybe he wanted to look and see what he could do with Malachi and those other guys. But he's like, man, I can't afford this right now. I gotta get butts and seats, and I gotta make sure that the ratings stay high.
Unfortunately, unless Ezra Miller kills somebody, you're still gonna be seeing the Flash.
I'll talk to you about that off screen, man. I think they're gonna reshoot his scenes.
They need to.
Because there was a guy they just announced. I can't remember his name now off the top of my head, but they said that he's going to be involved with their DC films going forward. He looks an awful lot like Ezra Miller.
He's got more allegations coming out right now.
He got arrested
than Vince McMahon does.
Dude, he got arrested. Yeah. But X-Villain said AW's main problem this year was the move to TBS. No one is watching Big Bang Theory as a lead-in. You want to watch the last 5 minutes of the Meg before Dynamite. I think that may have had something to do with it at the beginning of the year. I don't know that it does now. I don't really pay attention that closely to the ratings. I know that I know that Dynamite has been just below a million. So they've been holding very steady there. The big one that's been having trouble is Rampage. So, Maldacito got to go for the easy money right now and not experiment. Yeah, the Discovery merger, that kind of changes things a little bit. I completely forgot that they were doing that. So that may have had a big deal, because I know that that's why they actually flew all those guys out to watch Forbidden Door. And they really, really, really pushed that. So it's possible. And like I said, I can't remember the name of the guy. It starts with a C, the guy who took over for Warner Discovery. That dude is a freaking ball buster, man. That guy don't play. Ezra hasn't killed anyone yet. I don't know, man. We haven't found out all the allegations yet. But all right. But anyway, that's like I think Tony's cracking a little bit. I think he's under a lot of pressure, and I think that I do think that they're going to come through this and they'll make the changes that they need to make. Like we said all the way back like when this whole thing started. He kind of needs to get his emotions under control. But yeah, man, he's I think he's feeling the pressure, but I think he's finally maybe doing the right thing and getting some people in there to help him. Unfortunately, it would have been nice if he'd done that when Cody was still there and the two of them could work their thing out, but who knows? And like I said, we're never going to know for years and years and years to come what exactly happened between him and Cody. So, but can't think like a Mark, got to think like a businessman. Yeah, no, I get it. Like I said, and again, I don't want it to seem like like a lot of these people that are like basically saying, RIP friggin' AEW is like, come on, man, really? Are you that friggin' stupid? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's great to see WWE firing on all cylinders now and making the changes and things that we want them to change, but let's not be stupid here.
Yeah.
Too much pressure. Well, I mean, my God, man, running 2 sports teams and 2 friggin' wrestling companies. Dude, I put a gun in my mouth. So it's like,
well, he did that to himself.
All right, let's talk about some wrestling, man.
Yeah.
So I think Raw was definitely the better of the 2 shows between Raw and SmackDown. I did like seeing Ricochet get a legitimate freaking win over Corbin. That was awesome. And did it in decisive fashion. So that was pretty sweet. And seeing him, like, it wasn't the best match because it's a Corbin match, but hey, man, I love Ricochet. I think he's awesome. Nakamura versus Kaiser was a better match than I think people are giving it credit for. I do think it went way too long, though. I think that's what killed it. Nakamura versus Gunther. If we get vintage Nakamura, it could be dope. The big miss of the friggin' week, though, between Raw and SmackDown, it's gotta be Liv in the friggin' number 1 contenders gauntlet match, man. It was so bad. Cody and TK were at the Sammy wedding. Not sure if they sat at the same table. From what I understand, they tried to part as amicable as possible. So, hopefully and like I said, I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Cody in AEW.
Yeah, Liv Morgan's just getting treated like crap.
They have dropped the ball on her so bad, man. Because first off, you book her like she's weak.
Yep.
The eternal underdog. I'm like, yeah, but she's your champion. Once she wins the championship, you got to book her strong. And they haven't done that. And the fans loved her so much. They love her so much. And then they do this match with Ronda, and that finish just makes her look bad. Like if you're going to do that, have her get counted out and then have Liv tap, like right after the third hand goes down. Then you have Liv tap. Don't have her tap before, because she came out, dude, and they were booing the crap out of her. I mean, bad. And it was just like, woof. And then she had to go and she had to sit at ringside the whole time. And the boos they didn't stop. And through this whole match, and then this match itself was just bad. I was hoping we'd get Shayna out here. That would be like the brutal monster. But she got the pin off of a freaking was a surprise roll up of a counter. But man, that's another person that they need to really work on rehabbing, man, because dude, she used to be the friggin' she used to be a beast, man. She was the female Brock Lesnar, and now it's like
and with Raw, I was not impressed. I'm not impressed with the women's tag team tournament brackets.
No. It's a little up, like,
I mean, you know who's winning each first round matchup. It's face versus heel in the second round. So you knew Asuka. Oh, we lost Rob. Oh, he's back again. You with us, Rob? Can't hear you.
Yeah.
I got kind of coming in. You sound like you're on a different mic or something.
Yeah, I'm fixing it.
But you had Asuka and Alexis versus Dewdrop and Nikki Ash. You knew that they were going to win. You had Tamina and what's her name? Dana Brooke versus Sky and Sky. You knew they were going to win. It's like,
okay, so that match,
you know that Aaliyah and what's her name are going to win that match, and you know that Shayna Baszler and Shayna or whoever's with Sonya Deville is going to win that matchup.
here's the thing. I don't like the way they booked Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, and I'm not going to call her Io Sky. Kiss
You
my
just
ass.
did.
I don't like the way they booked them because they came in against Dana Brooke and Tamina, who have been the biggest joke, who have been the biggest freaking joke in the like the whole 24/7 title BS stupidity. And they're going to go up against Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, who is arguably, who in my opinion is one of the 5 best women's wrestlers in the world today. And they're gonna be competitive against them. They should have got stomped. You've literally made them a joke. And then you bring in Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, and you book them against them. And don't get me wrong, the match itself was pretty good. It was a good match, but it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. It should have been a squash. The way that they've been booked, we're not. You're not going to forget that in a week. You know what I mean? So, like, and let me be clear. I am nitpicking this a little bit because, like I said, going forward, we should nitpick this kind of stuff. But, like I said, it was a good match. I think in the end, I think they have a plan going for the women's title. I think that's where we're going to get,
Sasha and Naomi.
Sasha and Naomi are going to come back and they're going to challenge the winners of the tournament. So I think that's what's going to happen there.
Which it should be Sky or Dakota Kai and Io Shirai.
Yes. I personally think they should win, but I think that's a great way to reintroduce them. I'm trying to think, because Raw was really good from the opening segment, man.
Except for the camera angles.
The camera, yeah, that and again, it seems to happen mostly during the women's matches. They're Hicksville, Dana and Tamina are 59 times champions. Put some respect on their name, dude. Being the 24/7 champion is like being the hottest. Is winning a contest, declaring you the hottest Denny's waitress. It's still not great.
Now, like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch all of Raw because of the satellite, but they haven't, unless they featured it last night because I missed it. They haven't done anything with the 24/7 title in the last couple of weeks.
No, she was wearing it when she came out.
She was wearing it, yeah.
They didn't do anything with it, which thank God. Rollins versus Dawkins was great. They are definitely breaking the Street Profits up, which is unfortunate. But Ford, Ford looks like $1 million, dude. That guy's going to be a world champion soon. If he's not, there's something wrong. Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Some people are crapping on this. I thought it was freaking awesome. Like, what do you like in the chat? What do you guys think? Did you think that match versus Ezekiel was awesome as hell? Because instead of getting the usual BS, Owens just went out there and killed him. Like literally, like RIP friggin' Ezekiel. That guy's dead. Friggin' Kevin Owens murdered him. So, and then the promo that Owens cut was awesome. Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio was really good, and I like that Finn Balor won. I think they really need to do some. Again, that's another guy they need to rehab. Balor is amazing. Bobby Lashley versus Tommaso Ciampa. This, in my opinion, was the best match of the night, dude. This was awesome, man. And thank God, because Ciampa is he's too talented to be friggin' Mrs. Toady. But this is the best. This is the best match that Bobby Lashley's had.
Then you had Dexter.
Did you notice? Okay, you didn't see it. They dropped little clues about this all through the show. Like they dropped these little clues all through the show that something was going on. Yeah, if you paid attention to it, you could see it. And then even when he came out and tried to rush the ring, they didn't address him. They showed it on camera for a second, but I like the slow play on it. I think that's interesting. Now, Courtney's gonna hate my guts. I was never the biggest fan of Dexter Lumis. Okay. Shaw's a pretty cool dude. I don't have anything against him. He has a good look, but when he was in NXT, I was just like, it was eye-rollingly bad. Until, from what like I said, I stopped watching NXT for a long time. Towards the end, I guess he got better, but I'm not the biggest fan of Dexter Lumis. But here's the thing. He's a Triple H guy. And I think that's why he's back. And even though people didn't like him in NXT, when they first brought him in, Triple H didn't pull a Vince and pull the plug after 3 weeks. And he kept putting the guy in. And eventually the guy found a niche. This is, again, I'm going to use the comic book analogy because my freaking name's Comic Book Bob. That's what we've said, that one of the things that reason why new characters don't work is they don't put time behind them. It takes time to build a fan base, and you have to put a consistent creative team on them to give them a distinctive voice that doesn't change every 5 seconds. And you need to give them time to build. That's what Triple H did with Dexter Lumis in NXT. So even though he didn't appeal to me, he found his audience. And then they pulled the plug on him. So that's why I think he's back in WWE. Triple H is going to try and do the same thing to him again. And who knows? Maybe it turns into something great. But I like that. And again, we talked about little changes, things behind the scenes. This is one of those changes. When they bring someone in there, like when they brought in Karrion Kross, they're not going to kill the guy in 2 weeks. They're going to give him time to see if he can build and see if he can become as over as he was when he was in NXT.
What's up?
He's lucky, Jeff.
What's up, Pro Wrestling Guru?
He's lucky Jeff Hardy's not there anymore, okay?
Oh, my God. Dude, he's lucky they're not putting him in a Gibbs suit. Dexter is still hurting from getting squashed by Mr. Kennedy in TNA. But no, it's like I said, Raw was the better show, definitely the better show. Had a lot of really great matches on there. SmackDown had an awesome finish with Karrion Kross coming out. Dynamite was a good show. It was a really good show. Like I said, I wish that it was somebody else besides Chris Jericho. But I'll tell you something. Did you watch Battle of the Belts?
I did not.
I did, yes.
Dude. Claudio versus Takeshita. Oh my!
That kid's gonna be big, man. He's gonna be big.
I'm gonna tell you something. As soon as his contract is up in DDT, I think that's where he's at. Man, as soon as his contract's up, if Tony doesn't put that kid on a freaking contract immediately, he's freaking high. Well, that kid is amazing.
He'll try. He should try, but Konosuke's gonna have offers, man. He's gonna have options.
No, you see, Malcito, I used to pose for the covers, man. You know, back when I had the long flowing hair.
Where did
dude,
come from?
Battle of the Belts was the best show that AEW put on this week. Wardlow versus Jay Lethal was a really, really good match. It's probably the best match that Lethal's had. This was a good match for Wardlow. This helped put him over as well. Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter. This is 100% the best match that Jamie's had since she got there, and one of the best matches that Thunder Rosa's had recently. And like I said, man, Jamie Hayter is a freaking beast.
Yeah, Yeah, Maldacito. Comic Book Bob is like Fabio, man. Come on.
No, Fabio was like me.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight. But dude, she got her nose busted and she powered through that crap, man. Dude, I got a lot of respect for Jimmy Hayter after that, man. But dude, Claudio versus Konosuke Takeshita. Dude, oh my God. This is going to be one of those matches that people talk about for a while. And when this dude finally, when this dude finally signs with either AEW, whoever he signs with, New Japan, whoever, this is going to be one of those matches that they talk about because this, I don't know when his excursion's over, but man.
Now imagine if TNA had treated Okada this good.
Oh God, dude. Oh man, I mean, this guy is like, he's like, you take the best parts of Okada and the best parts of Tanahashi, and then add some freaking Kenta in there. That's what this guy is. He's big, he's strong, he's agile, and he's good. He hasn't had a bad match since he got here. So that tells you the level of talent that guy has. Awesome. AEW ended the week on a really high note.
Yes.
And they needed that. Yeah,
and like I said, man, I'm 100% sure that they'll right the ship. Like I said, they're just going through a rough patch right now. But yeah, man,
I won't be surprised if Rampage gets axed, though.
I don't think it'll get axed. I think it might get moved to a different time slot because it is dude. You could if you put friggin' Raw in that time slot, it would have serious trouble. That's a terrible time slot. It's terrible. Terrible. But anyway, I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, if you haven't, go watch the T1, guys. It's awesome. A block leaders Okada, Jeff Cobb. B block leaders Jay White, Sonata. Jay White's running away with B block, so I think it's definitely going to be him. And
but when's his next block match? Will he be cleared?
It's not for like 4 or 5 days. So he should be okay by then.
Okay.
Tanahashi and Zack Sabre Jr. are tied for C block, and then David Finley actually is heading B block with Ospreay behind. It's bad, but check it out. It's awesome.
We'll say too. Lost a couple of good ones. Oh my God.
Livy Newton-John.
Roger E. Mosley played TC on Magnum PI.
Yep.
And Livy Newton-John.
Yep. And what was his name? The guy, the white-haired guy from Night of the Living Dead, from Return of the Living Dead. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he died too. So, yep. RIP. But anyway, guys, appreciate that everybody was here. Maldacito, Hicks Villain, Pro Wrestling Guru. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate that.
Courtney, Big Daddy,
and
Williams.
Williams Railsport. We gotta come up with a nickname, man. We're too dumb and white.
The genetic jackhammer.
Yep, Johnny leg kick as always.
Was such good shit.
Maldacito can't forget. I can't talk anymore.
Hey, genetic jackhammer, how much more is coming out? You're already up to 19.5 million. How much more?
It's my money. My company.
That's the problem. It's not. So
who said that?
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Anyway, guys.
Are you going to hit 25, GM? Genetic jackhammer?
I'm ending the stream now. Thanks for your guys. We'll see you next week. I'm going to stop before these guys get us in trouble. Take care. Bye.